Hey everyone, Happy Dude here, and the next car on my list from that 70s show is Hyde's El Camino from 1967. And Hyde is my favorite character on that 70s show.
It's got a fiberglass air-cooled engine and it runs on water.
Now, if you search for an El Camino from the 70s in scale 118, then you will get this model right here. But that's not the model that Hyde drove.
No, it's a car. Only you put water in the gas tank instead of gas.
I drove one before the 70s. To be exact, it was from 67. Now, I could not find a 67 model, but luckily I could find a 65 model, which looks very similar. Now, finding one in black, that was a challenge, and the only one that exists is this one from the brand Exact Detail Replicas.
And it runs on water, man!
Oh, and before I forget, I've also installed the mirrors on the Vista Cruiser. So now you can see how that looks, and it looks a lot better now. Now, I tried model glue first because it's a very thin glue and easy to apply with that needle, but the mirror did not want to stick to the car. I think it has something to do with the chrome mirror that is very smooth, and then we also have the paint on the car, so it did not want to stick to that. So instead I've used some good old-fashioned super glue. I just put some in the hole on the mirror, then waited 30 seconds, and now it's really stuck on there. I do want to point out that it always makes a little bit of a mess if you want to glue the mirrors on. I just don't like it when manufacturers don't install the mirrors. Now, I'm not going to install the rear spoiler because, well, it's nearly impossible because the holes are not deep enough, and also in that 70 show the Vista Cruiser doesn't have that. And also, like I promised, I've put the correct number plate on the car. So this is the number plate that Eric has on his Vista Cruiser. I've just used my printer and printed it out on printing paper that has a double side with glue, and then I just applied it on the old number plate. If you want to see the review of this Vista Cruiser, then watch the video that I made before this one. And yes, I also did the rear number plate. Now, let's get on with the review of the El Camino. So here's the box. It's nothing fancy. You already saw this side, and on the other side we have some history about the car. If you want to read the history of the El Camino, just pause the video, take a screenshot, and read it after the video. Now, let's go straight to the unboxing. Now, with this car, you also get a certificate because there were only 1,500 made. And here's the car. A very exciting moment. Ooh, look how nice it looks. And in the trunk we also find a card that you have to be careful when you close the door because we have a door frame here so it doesn't break. Now let's start with a simple look around while I'll tell the funny story how Hyde got this El Camino. Normally Kelso would have bought this car for $500 because his Dodge 100 sank into the ice lake. Now, Kelso played as a slave for Jackie to get the $500, but just at the last moment, Leo changed his mind.
I can't sell you the car, man.
Oh, man!
Leo then tells him the very sad story that he wanted to give the El Camino to his 16-year-old son, but his wife split on him with his son. And then he decided to give the El Camino to Hyde for free.
Hyde, I want you to have this car.
What? No!
Now, let me give you the dimensions. The car is 28 centimeters long, 8 centimeters high, and 10 centimeters wide. So if we take those measurements and do them times 18, then we get the real dimensions of the car. So the box didn't steal its name, Exact Detail Replicas. And here's a size comparison against the Vista Cruiser. And the weight of the car is 1041 gram or 36.7 ounce. So it's pretty heavy. The car also rolls pretty nice. It's just a tiny bit stiff, but it doesn't squeak or anything. And we also don't have any working suspension. Now let's go into detail. Let's start with the decals and paint job. The paint job itself is very nicely done, but remember it's a very old model, so you will see some imperfections. And here's the top of the car. We have some windshield wipers. Also the glass looks pretty clear. And here's the bed, along with some dust. It's a big flat black surface, so dust is inevitable.
Inevitable.
Here you can see the chrome detailing and mirrors. There's only one on the left side. And here's the front of the car. And here's the rear of the car. And here's the underside. And the wheels and tires. And yes, the steering wheel does move, but not much. And yes, everything on this car can be opened, even the rear hatch. And look at the hinge. It works like the real car. That's pretty nifty. Now the whole car is made out of diecast, except for the chrome trimming, and also the bed is made out of plastic. And I've also ordered these little beer cans, and they are made out of full metal and pretty detailed, as you can see. I've bought them to put in the rear of the car because in the show they drink a lot of beer. And I've also ordered these little crates, and you can take out the little bottles. Now let's take a look inside the interior. Looks pretty detailed. Here's the door panel. We also have a handle for the windows, a armrest. The seats feel really soft, like a real seat. You can push them in. They can also move. And we have some real carpet on the floor and a different material here where you put your feet to protect the carpet. And it even has anti-slip ribbons. Very nice. And here's the other side. And we're gonna close off this video with the engine bay. Oh wow, that is pretty detailed. Wow. It's not a V8, it's a V6.